Hi guys, this is Travis coming to you from MHF Enterprises Shooting Academy in Denison, Illinois. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about home security. And this is something you're going to want to pay real close attention to because we're living in very turbulent times now. And I'm going to give you a pro tip that you can make your house and any kind of outbuildings you've got much more secure from break-ins for about $7 in a few minutes time. So listen up. So as you may or may not know, I have years of experience breaching doors from when I was on the SWAT team. One thing you find out when you're going to breach a door, whether you're using brute force like just kicking it, by hand, a kick, a shoulder, whatever, or you're using an actual battering ram to knock it off, is you learn where the weak points are at the doors, and that's where you attack the doors to knock them in. And not just the good guys know this, bad guys that break into houses know this too. So the weak points that you have are at the hinges and then particularly at the latch area. So normally you're going to have at least a latch where the doorknob is, and in some places you're going to have an additional deadbolt. Problem is the bolts that come off of those that go into the door frame area has to have a hole drilled where that strike plate goes, and that leaves a very thin layer of wood that's on the front side of that latch area. So if a door would typically open in like your front door, your back door, and it would swing in like this, you'd have a strike plate on this edge of the door frame that would wrap around towards the inside of the house. That's got that little curved edge to help guide the lock bar into it. That wood that's on that front side of where that hole's been drilled is very thin. So that's a weak point that you will attack to try to knock the door hard enough that you will break that wood unless you gain entrance into the house. Now typically where the doorknob lock goes, because those strike plates is what is going to give it the strength, you've got a little bitty, like a 3/4 inch screw. This is your typical screw that holds the strike plate into that door frame. Not very big. Now where your deadbolts are, they get a little bit better set up. They've got a screw about this size that holds that strike plate for the deadbolt into the door frame. Thing is, these only go into the door frame area, and door frame casings are typically fairly thin, roughly 3/4 inch, and they're a softwood like pine. So all these go into is just that door frame area. And then a lot of doors don't have very much space between the lock bar for the doorknob and the lock bar for the deadbolt. The farther apart you can get them, the increase the size of that pivot point on the door, the better off you're going to be. So if you're setting up a door for the first time, spread those things apart to get more distance between them, and that will help from being able to work that door on the corners to create a weak point in that door frame. So here is your tip on what to do. Go down to your local lumber yard, Lowe's, Menards, Home Depot. If you're local to me, Kirshner's, get yourself a box of these. What we got here, stainless steel deck screws, 3 inches long. These are number 10s. You get this compared to this. See the difference? Even with the ones that typically come much bigger. Now the thing what you want to do is go in there, take these little bitty screws out, all your strike plates, put this big one in there. What that does is it will extend through that soft, thin door case material, and it'll go into the stud behind it. This makes a huge difference in how hard it is to knock that door open. Where a typical door, especially if you don't have a deadbolt and all you've got is a doorknob with lock bar, a kick or two will pop that door. You replace that with these, you'll have a hard time kicking that door open. trust me. Now I know what you're thinking. It ain't gonna fit. It ain't gonna look good. True. The strike plates have a recessed hole so that these little bitty guys sit in there flush. These will not sit in flush. They will stick out some. But the door will open and shut just fine. There's plenty of gap around that door between the door edge and the door frame edge where that strike plate is to clearance whatever. These won't fit. I could show you on my own door over here. Looks a little ugly if you're looking at it, but you know what? Nobody sees it. The door's shut virtually all the time. So there's your tip. Go down there, spend yourself $7, get a 1-pound box of those screws. You'll have enough to do all the doors in your house, your outbuildings, your buddy's house and outbuildings, and probably another buddy's house and outbuildings. There's quite a few of them in one of these boxes, and it only is going to take you 2 to 4 probably per door for an outside door to help make yourself much more secure. So there's your pro tip of the day. Heat it. Do something to make yourself safer and more secure, because there's a bunch of crazies out there and you and I both know it. So do everything you can to keep you, your family, your property safe and secure. Do something every day to make yourself harder to kill. This is Travis coming to you from MHF Enterprises. Come out and see us soon.